Good evening and welcome to a late but better late than never presentation of the Rose Bowl here on Sorgi Stories following a double overtime Peach Bowl from Atlanta. Anthony Sorgi.
Jay Sorgi, otherwise known as Daddy Sorgi. This is where like the old television station would be like, we now join the Rose Bowl, joined now in progress.
Yes.
As it is right now. What? Ohio State up, 7-0?
7-0 early in this one, 12-10 to go in the first quarter. OSU leading early. This is going to be a heck of a game. That arguably the two best teams in college football.
I said it, I want to say sometime in the last 24 hours. My thought, the winner of this game is going to win the national championship.
Agreed.
Because Oregon, I believe, is the only undefeated team coming into this tournament that's left. And Ohio State, yeah, we all know they lost to Michigan in that debacle at the Horseshoe. But if you look at the rest of the season, they have basically dominated every opponent they played except for Oregon, who they lost to by 1 point on the road at Oregon.
The only exception to that being the Nebraska game, which was incredibly close. Will Howard throws deep. Caught.
Ooh,
Jeremiah
highlight
Smith,
reel.
The 17-year-old freshman makes a big catch.
Highlight reel snag over two defenders. Wow. He cut back in and basically ran like a corner out, and two defenders were right there in those weird Oregon helmets and the beautiful 1995-94 Oregon jerseys, and he skied for that thing. Beautiful catch. But what you're seeing now is the game that I think is going to decide the national title.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, I could be wrong because we're going to have two more rounds after this, but to me, these are the two best teams in the country. Oh, stuffing at the 48-yard line on first down with 11:27 left. But the reason why we're so late is because of the best game of the college football playoff tournament so far. I mean, that's going to be one of those that's going to go in the history books as one of the best college football games that a lot of people have ever seen.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, 39-31, Texas a double overtime winner, but Arizona State with a comeback for the ages in the Peach Bowl. Comeback for the ages. That was just incredible. Smith with a first down catch, I believe. Yep. And he also snagged it afterward, got a couple extra yards to get into first down territory. Now, it's a tradition for us to do the Rose Bowl together.
Yes, it is.
We've been doing it since we moved to Philadelphia, I believe.
Yeah.
And this game always has some special memories for me because I've covered one of these.
Yes.
I had a chance to cover the Wisconsin TCU Rose Bowl in January 2011. I'm probably going to sprinkle in some stories throughout the whole cast that we're doing here. Toss over the middle, overthrowing his receiver, who was pretty open. Howard just missing his guy. If he latches out of that could have been 6. That could have been 6. I think you're just trying to recover. He's trying to manage social media right now recovering after that insane.
Yeah. Can you
go to
the comments quickly?
Yeah, let's look at these comments. Happy Hodag. We've got
some jet lag.
A couple from you. Yeah, all talking jet lag. Let's see. Yes, we are here. And Baseball Road Tripper is here talking jet lag. That's all people care about, I guess. No. And wasn't a sack, but it was basically a no gain on second and town with Howard getting corralled by some Kelly Green shirts. Yes, that is Kelly Green with yellow trim on the Oregon Ducks jerseys. Ohio State in their traditional road jersey, the white with scarlet lettering and the gray, the silver helmets and the silver pants.
Change in helmet, though. There's a change in the helmet.
How so?
On the stripe, it's like a rose pattern instead of just a traditional red stripe.
As you're saying here, Weston Miser, go OSU, Oregon too good. And Baseball Road Tripper asking if I saw the Rose Parade while I was out there. I saw a lot of the floats of the Rose Parade the day before as they were setting everything up. We went to the stadium the day before to set up our broadcast positioning for the day. And so I went out there just to sort of get the lay of the land. And I parked near where a lot of the Rose Bowl floats were. And it was just picturesque looking, just beautiful. but I did not get to see the Rose Parade itself because I had to get to the stadium super early because I was the pregame show host for the Wisconsin Badgers Radio Network broadcast.
OSU punts into the end zone.
Yep, ball the 20-yard line. But I did not get to see the parade, but it is a national tradition. It is one of the reasons people are willing to get up super early on a New Year's Day morning instead of staying up ridiculously late, having too much to drink, and enjoying it that way, as a lot of people have. And this is a fantastic tradition of New Year's Day. And this is what so many people gather themselves around the television for every year as a tradition. It's the Rose Bowl because it's the Rose Bowl.
It's the granddaddy of them all.
As both Kirk Gowdy and Keith Jackson used to call it, that particular game in itself, back when NBC used to do the game, and they did it since like the 1940s.
Yeah.
I want to say, before ESPN and ABC grabbed it. So, absolutely. And then ABC grabbed it with Keith Jackson for all those great years. And now it's an ESPN tradition with Chris Fowler and company. And the thing that makes it so special to me when I covered that game is just the setting. The stadium is one of the largest in college football, though not as big as now a lot of the stadiums in the Big Ten and the SEC are.
Yeah.
They've downsized the stadium from its original 105,000 capacity down to about 95,000. They put in some seat backs instead of having it all bleachers. But it's that bowl setting with the Sierra Mountains. What's the mountain range? The San Gabriel Mountains.
San Gabriel, yeah.
That surround two of the sides of the stadium. It's the pine, not the pine trees, but the palm trees that tower above the last row of the stadium, just popping up and reminding you, hey, we are in Southern California. It is such insane natural beauty that if you have a 50-0 blowout, you still have something fantastic to look at.
Bat it out.
If you're inside that stadium. It is just picturesque. I recommend, if anyone gets the chance to go to a Rose Bowl, go.
Do it.
It is bucket list type stuff. I've talked your ear off. Hopefully you've taken care of the social media.
Yeah, I think we're good now.
Glad to fill for you, as I used to do in the Badgers Network.
Yeah, so we're on a break really quick here on the TV screen. So we're going to flip over here. So you all should be able to now, if it will work, going to flip over to this year's bracket for the college football playoff. This is the updated bracket before we get back to action. There we go. This is what it looks like. How did Ohio State get here? They got to win. How did Oregon get there? They just did nothing other than being undefeated.
The top seed.
And being the top seed. But in the first round so far, as you can see, Penn State, Boise State, 31-14 the final last night. Texas, Arizona State, 39-31 the final in double overtime today. Now we get back to action from the Rose Bowl here on Sorgy Stories.
And depending upon tomorrow's Sugar Bowl.
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow's
4
Sugar
p.m.
Bowl. We could have a Big Ten versus SEC and a pair of semifinal games, which I think is dramatic television to watch if you care about conferences and if you care about, okay, which is the better conference.
Dylan Gabriel throws. He's got a man in his back. Going to get a gain of a couple of yards for Oregon to start this drive off.
That was a screen to the right side of the offense. I think you're seeing so many pro and college teams use that screenplay and the wide receiver screenplays, and defenses just know what's coming.
Yeah,
they've prepared for it, and it's like you don't see teams getting big gains out of it. They're trying to get people in space, but defenses know what it is.
Yeah, Gabriel's going to drop back, looks to throw to no one.
Yeah, I think that ball was tipped right at the point of the pass that led to that incompletion in a 3rd and 8. Notice on the shoulders that Donald Duck like Oregon Duck on each side.
It's the Mighty Duck.
Oh, it wasn't a tip pass. It was an on-rusher hitting the bicep of
Gabriel.
Yeah, Gabriel's bicep. So That's why we're in a 3rd and 8 now.
Dylan Gabriel seems to be headed for the NFL next year, if I were to guess. Obviously, the former UCF and Oklahoma quarterback.
Ooh, is that a pick?
Incomplete.
Nope. But they're going to have to punt anyway.
Not the start you want if you're Oregon on this
No.
on this drive. 8:43 to go here in the quarter. Let's just try to very quickly get this thing off of our screen. Hello.
What are you hunting?
There we go. We should be good now. There we go.
Excellent. And I also find it crazy to see these weird punt protection formations with 3 guys in the backfield and 3 guys that are looking like wide receivers and a dud of a punt to the 46-yard line of Ohio State. They only have to go 54 yards to extend this lead to 14-0.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. Now, we talked about how Ohio State got here, that they had to win a first-round game to do it. That first-round game, I think, was one that is going to, especially if Ohio State does something really good in this tournament, it's going to define the career of Ryan Day as a head coach.
Yeah.
Because when you saw what he did and what his team did in blowing that game against Michigan, and how many consecutive times he has lost to the Michigan Wolverines, and just how angry that fan base is about losing to Michigan again, it's like he knew, and his players knew, they had to have not just a victory over Tennessee, but they had to have a mauling over Tennessee in order to make a statement to say, what kind of team are we? Who are the real Ohio State Buckeyes here? And they smashed Tennessee to bits and pieces in front of a crowd that was a third Tennessee Vols who took the drive up to Columbus.
Yeah.
And Ohio State owned that game from the get-go. It was a plastering. And I think they're coming in with a boatload of momentum. Absolute boatload of momentum. Which is why I see Ohio State winning this thing. And not just because they have a 7-0 lead.
We'll see. It's going to be interesting to the finish.
By far. Now, what you're doing today, it was going to be about 12 hours of streaming for these New Year's Day bowl games before we have the Sugar Bowl delayed to tomorrow after
4 p.m. Yeah. So after the tragedy in New Orleans, moved back to 4 p.m.
Please lift up the victims.
Moved back to 4 p.m. We'll see kind of what we'll see because in the official press conference they said they don't think that the attacker acted alone. There is that possibility it could be moved back further depending on the security situation. That's why it's just kind of, but tentatively it's 4 p.m. tomorrow. That's the plan. But yeah, it turned from 12 hours to not exactly sure what we did. The Peach Bowl, we got the Rose, and then we're gonna do a little bit of Rose Bowl post game.
Yep.
With Lincoln from American Football Network, Reichley from the Football Expert. I actually still have to set that up.
So I sense I'm going to be doing a little bit of solo hosting for a portion of this Rose Bowl cast.
There's a little bit of technical issue on our end because to multi-stream. Thank you to Shady Sports Network, a friend of Lincoln's, who is letting us use his account to multi-stream, his StreamYard account. So to do that, I actually have to go into his account. So after our stream's over, I'm gonna have to log into his account and get set up there. First down throw, about an 8-yard gain. Abuka there on the reception. An absolute beast. I mean, I love hearing Gus Johnson say, what's the guy's first name? It's Emeka Egbuka. When he's like, Emeka Egbuka.
Hand off on second down.
Travion Henderson there, beast of a running back.
Yep, 3-yard gain, gets the first.
Get used to saying his name a lot tonight.
Yes.
Because he is really, really good at football. Take a quick look at the absolutely nothing. And will there be a revamp of, well, I think it just needs to be same kind of setup, but no, there should be no first round buys or there for conference champs.
You should be, if you are in a conference champion and you're among the current group of conference champions in a 12-team format that automatically gets a bid, you should automatically get a bid. You should not automatically get a first round bye. Ooh, we just got ourselves a 13-14 nothing game.
Touchdown OSU. They're up 2 scores early.
Howard threw a dart. Wow.
And the Red Sea is happy.
My goodness. I mean, that was the kind of a throw you see from someone who's going to play on Sundays.
Yeah.
I mean, that was into some tight coverage, and Ibuka with a fantastic catch. But I do think you're going to see a movement towards, okay, you won a conference championship. Even if you're one of the power 4, whoever the 4 best are, you get in the tournament.
The first round bye should have gone, if we're being realistic, first round bye should have gone to Oregon, Georgia, Texas, Penn State.
That makes
sense.
Now,
Arizona State deserved to be there. I mean, they deserve
they
that.
They proved today they deserve to be there by far.
They proved that they are an absolute great team. But another thing, I went back, and I mean, this is interesting. When you go back and look at, if you were to go back through the years, if I can pull this up, and look at what the college football playoff would have been. Let's see if I can find it. I thought I put it somewhere here. I just have to actually find the thing I did. Bear with me.
Oh, that throw was into such tight quarters, and he had to one-hand the thing. He one-handed that catch. Just nuts while it was being interfered with. And there were 3 defenders in that pathway. Will Howard threw just a laser beam. I mean, a heat-seeking laser to get that 14-0 lead. Yep, and we need to fix the board.
14-0.
Yep, we need to fix the board.
Thank you, Nick.
Nick, the legend, giving us the update. Excellent. Excellent.
So I was looking something up because when you actually go back and look at the college football playoff through its entirety, the history of the playoff, which started in 2014, when you look at the rankings, Boise State, obviously, group of 5 champ, the 5th best conference champion, because there were 5 power conferences. When you look back and see how many group of 5 teams would have made it in a 12-team playoff, if I go and count this up here, you would have had Cincinnati, Coastal Carolina, so that's 3, and then you get 4. Sorry, go ahead.
Reverse loses 2 yards as Ohio State knew it was coming.
You would get only a total. You'd get 5 group of 5 teams in the 10 years of the playoff. You get 5 group of 5 teams, and it's like, I don't know if Boise State's a top 12 team in the country, but you got to give that berth to a group of 5 teams.
To me, I feel like, and there's the argument, a little wide receiver screen outside that gains 4 yards to make it 3rd and 7. To me, when people make the argument of the 12 best teams go in the playoff, wrong. I don't think you should have the 12 best teams make the playoff. The playoff is not designed to say, hey, our 12 best teams just go in the tournament. The playoff is designed to finish the process of elimination to find the best team in the country, which is why I think they were right in saying to Alabama, if you are only the 4th best team in your conference, you don't belong in the playoff.
If you don't have 10 wins, you don't belong in the playoff.
Yeah, I mean, that's where, and I understand the whole strength of schedule argument, but to me, it's more, there are already so many teams ahead of you in the SEC that are better.
Yeah.
You don't belong.
1st and 10 Oregon, but I'll say, Alabama put 3 points up against Oklahoma, and they lost to Michigan. What are we talking about? South Carolina, too. If you're a South Carolina believer, they just lost to Illinois. They don't deserve to be there.
This is why I make the argument that the teams that should make the playoff are those who have not yet proven that they don't belong in the chase for a national championship.
That's fair.
And you deserve to have the opportunity, first down, run to the outside, about a nice 10-yard gain for Oregon, that haven't yet had that opportunity to be knocked out, if you will. And that, yes, means putting in some more of the mid-majors, putting in more of the group of 6 now, conferences, if you will, because they haven't had the chance to play anybody. And when you say, well, put together a bigger schedule, it's overthrow. Oh, I thought it was going to be an overthrow and almost a catch, but out of bounds.
Targeted there. I think was that Taz Johnson? It was Taz Johnson there on the target.
But because, I mean, they say, well, you should schedule harder opponents. They make these schedules 10 years in advance.
Yeah.
You don't automatically know who is going to be a national contender. As a perfect example, this year, you had Alabama at Wisconsin. When they scheduled that game, Wisconsin was close to a national power. They were at a level where if they would have played Nick Saban in Alabama at Camp Randall Stadium, Wisconsin could have won that game.
It would have been a low-scoring football game.
Yeah. Now they get boat raced. About a 4-yard loss for Oregon on second down. Now it's going to be third. But you can't necessarily say, okay, we're scheduling a good team, because the non-conference games are 10 years away.
Yeah.
You can't realistically say that. So really what it becomes is, okay, you've won your conference. You haven't yet proven that you don't belong in the discussion for national championship. Let's use the tournament to take care of that argument. Because if you're like the 4th best team in your conference, you don't belong in a tournament for the national title.
Yeah, and I think at the end of the day, it's like the way I look at it, when I was ranking my top 12, I had the same 12 teams. Not in order, as Oregon gets a nice pick up there.
Third down catch, about an 8-yard game, but not enough for first down.
Yeah, the way I look at it is that when I put in my 12 teams, I wrote in all the teams like 8-4 or above, wrote in all their resumes, ranked them. And my top 12 is my top 12.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it's like you gotta go off the resume, because like what they have done, you're judging based off of what they have done. So in saying the resume, like it's just a better way of saying the 12 most deserving teams. But it's like, if you had a good year, I don't care if your quarterback's injured like Florida State was. Florida State should have been in the playoffs, because I don't care if they have a chance at winning the national championship or not. The point is, they had such a great year. They deserve the opportunity to play for it.
We're talking last year.
Yeah. For Florida State last year. Florida State this year, absolute garbage.
They're horrible.
But you get the point. I'm going to take a quick break.
Okay.
I'll let you keep talking.
Now, that's why, to me, Cobra Cole, you make an absolute perfect point. It's about the money. Now, devil's advocate, if it was all about the money this year, Alabama would have made it, and not SMU, because they'd be focusing strictly on the best brands. They're going to sell tickets and get more eyeballs on the viewership. I applaud them for choosing SMU in that situation. So, baseball road tripper with a statement: what if we took money out of scheduling, schedule like any other league pro, you create it at the end of the season for next year, then you can have better matchups and better multi-loss teams. I applaud that. I 10,000% applaud that. The kind of changes that you would have to see the NCAA make, or whatever future college football league is going to show up, if you see the big programs depart the NCAA to create their own league, that's what I would love to see. Have it like the NFL. First of all, you got to restructure the conferences. These 18-team conferences are ridiculous. You're not playing every team in the conference. You don't really get the best judgment of who's best, because you just play who you play. You could have 2 undefeated teams going into a conference championship game. It's not out of the question. You could have 3 undefeated teams at the end of a regular season in the same conference, and only 2 of them play in a conference championship game. You either need to have 9 or 10 team conferences where everyone plays each other once, or you have 12 or 14 team conferences where you play every team in your division, and in outside division games within your conference, you base it off the previous year's regular season record, like they do with the NFL. As you mentioned, a little bit like what you're talking about, baseball road tripper. And then as for non-conference games, if you have a league setup, if you will, then it's preordained who you're going to play based either on just simple rotation. Okay, we know if we're Wisconsin, we're going to play Oklahoma next year. Or if you know you're Wisconsin and you're scheduled to play whatever is the matching level team in the SEC next year in that particular slot, and then it just gets filled by how it falls in the standings. That, to me, is how they should schedule non-conference games. It's never going to happen that way. It's never going to happen. Something else that's never going to happen is going to be the multi-tiered soccer system, as much as I'd love it. I mean, imagine if you had, what'll be a good example, Northwestern versus Purdue to decide who avoids relegation into the MAC. That would be so much fun. Run on first down, gains a few yards, second down for Ohio State. Substitutions coming in. And it's just because that's the way it is. Because the programs want revenue. The home teams in these games between power teams and non-power teams, the home team wants the home game revenue. And the road team wants the big revenue from the guarantee that in many ways pays for a lot of their athletic department operations overall. These 6-figure, 7-figure paydays that these small schools get for coming to play a game on the road without a return home game, that funds a lot of their athletic operations, period. So it's sort of a requirement that it stays that way. It's just so ingrained into the college sports system, it's not going to change unless you get the big programs all leaving. Deep pass down the sideline. Another fantastic catch. These Ohio State wide receivers. I mean, it's special. Smith with a diving catch along the near sideline. In the shadows. From a football delivered from the sunshine, and a run up out to the left side gets about 5 yards. But, I mean, Ohio State's passing game, I mean, they're becoming wide receiver U. They have truly become wide receiver U. We all know about the Harrisons, Marvin Harrison Jr. going there. I mean, they're a factory. They're a wide receiver factory. You can go as far back as Chris Carter at Ohio State back in the 80s. A name I'm sure you baseball road tripper would love to hear. Pitch to the outside this time. Smith can't reach it. It's going to be 3rd and 5. But they have become such a hotbed for wide receivers, which is totally the antithesis of the tradition of Woody Hayes at Ohio State. 3 yards in a cloud of dust. He would always say that there are 3 things that can happen in the passing game, and 2 of them, interceptions and incompletions, are bad. But the tradition of wide receivers at Ohio State has just been phenomenal.
Yeah, it's wide receiver U. I mean, you talk about Jeremiah Smith is the next guy up, one of the best true freshmen we've seen in a while.
First down and much more yardage.
Emeka Egbuka all the way out to the 32-yard line after a pass from Will Howard for the first down. And yeah, but you go Marvin Harrison Jr., and then back from there, I mean, we're talking just every year there's an OSU guy heading to the league.
Exactly. I was mentioning Chris Carter back in the 80s when I was growing up watching. Ohio State so far in this first quarter, they're doing what they did to Tennessee, and they're doing that to the number 1 team in the country.
Yeah. They came to play.
I mean, it's like the Michigan loss woke them up.
Yeah.
And they said, fake reverse, and Oregon knew it was coming.
Good stop there by the Oregon D. On the stop there is going to be number 10. That is Mateo Uyunglele.
Baseball road tripper. I love this comment about Anthony Carter. Go look up Michigan, Indiana, 1979, and the radio play-by-play call by Bob Ufer, I think it was.
Okay.
And you're going to hear someone basically have a happy conniption fit on air because of the last play walk-off touchdown that Anthony Carter scored in that
Henderson
game.
to the outside, or that's not actually Henderson. That's going to be who's that on that run? That's going to be Quinshon Junkins. I forgot about Junkins. He's a beast of a running back as well. They got two really good backs over at OSU.
And the really funny part about that, as the first quarter ends with a 14-0 Ohio State lead, the really funny part about that broadcast that you'll hear, you will hear a bicycle horn, like a whole bunch of bicycle horns in the background, because Ufer would play that thing every single time Michigan scored a touchdown. And I'm like, what is this? This is weird.
All right, folks, we will take a quick break for the end of the quarter.
He's trying to interrupt me because I was telling silly stories.
No, you're fine. We'll take a quick break on the other side, though. Back with more action from Pasadena. Back here on Sorgi Story, second quarter action from Pasadena. Anthony Sorgi with you on this New Year's Day. It looks like a beautiful day under the blue skies of Southern California at the Rose Bowl Stadium, home of the Rose Bowl, of course. The Red Sea of Ohio State having a good day so far. 14-0. They lead Oregon. It is 3rd and 5 now for the Bucks. 15 minutes to go as we start the second quarter. Ryan Day there, and now Will Howard taking the field. 3rd and 5. Back at it for OSU's quarterback. They are moving left to right in Oregon's territory. Ball spotted at the 28-yard line of the Ducks. Howard's going to have a man in motion. Howard shotgun. Drops back. Looks to pass. Has a man across the middle, but it's incomplete. Jeremiah Smith, the intended target. Good stop there by the Ducks on the deflection there. It's going to be number 7, Jabbar Muhammad, the senior defensive back, out of DeSoto High School. He went to Oklahoma State, then transferred to Washington, now at Oregon. OSU to kick this here on 4th and 5. We've seen kicker troubles from Jaden Fielding earlier this year, especially in that Michigan game. Started 8 for 9. Now he's 1 for 4 since. This one from 46. He's on the left hash mark for this kick. It is up, and it is good. OSU up 3 scores early, 17-14 the score. 17-0 the score from Pasadena. Oregon down big, huge deficit for the Ducks here. But I mean, it's rough, but what are you going to do at this point? Like, at this point, you get the ball back. So you see, off with Jeremiah Smith, and then they get another great catch by Jeremiah Smith. It's Jeremiah Smith day today, and now he's on the sidelines here for OSU. He's got 4 receptions for 118 yards and a touchdown thus far. If you're just joining us, OSU wearing the silver classic looks, meanwhile Oregon in the silver green white uniforms. We see Julio Jones, Terrell Owens, and Jeremiah Smith, all OSU guys, all 6'3", similar weights within 10 pounds of each other. Good company to be in. Kickoff from OSU to Oregon is away with 14:50 left in the second quarter. Here we go. Oregon will return this one. No, they won't. Touchback for the Ducks. We will take a very, very quick break as we see Chris Carter there on the sidelines. Take a quick break. Back momentarily with action from Pasadena. Back here with Dylan Gabriel in the shotgun, gonna hand it off through his back, get a gain of about 3 yards. Don't ask me why this is still playing. I'm moving it. Hope it's turned off. There we go. Finally working here. Dylan Gabriel has the handoff that started off there. Handoff there was to his back, number 20. That is Jordan James. We streamed the last time these two teams played, most viewed stream in Sorgy Stories history, between these two incredible squads. And we see another run out to James to the left side this time. He's taken down after a gain of about a yard or two. So Oregon with a 3rd and long here early in this drive. Folks, drop some comments. Give us your thoughts as Baseball Roadshow were put in the comment section a moment ago. Wish I was in Pasadena. Like, I also wish most days I was in beautiful Pasadena, California. Even more than the LA area, though. I'm a big San Diego guy, personally. So I wouldn't mind being down in San Diego on a day like today compared to the 40-degree weather here in Philadelphia. Going to church today, a little bit chilly here on this January 1st. Dylan Gabriel drops back, throws, middle of the field. First down, Oregon. The reception there is number 1, Trayshawn Holden, the senior wide receiver for the Ducks. James there with a run for a couple yards, sets up a 2nd and 8. Run there for Oregon 4, no gain. Pass across the middle for the Ducks is complete. Or no, it's incomplete. So 4th down now for Oregon. Not where you want to be, as Dylan Gabriel and company are going to maybe stay out on the field here. We'll see inside or at about the 50-yard line. I'd go for it here on 4th and 3, and it looks like they're going to do so. Ohio State takes their first time out of the half. So 11:13 to go, and a timeout by the Buckeyes. So, yeah, that's what's going on in OSU land. Got a couple comments I need to get to here. So let's quickly update the timeouts for Ohio State. Go point, Tony. Go point. Call this. Yeah, Cole said OSU was going to win. I just didn't want to believe it because I don't like Ohio State very much. Ohio State, Texas is going to suck, dude. That if Oregon doesn't end up coming back, that's going to suck. Good thing is I won't be watching because I'll be at a high school basketball game that night. Okay, let me get this going here. Okay. So again, folks, we will be live at 8:45 this evening, approximately, depending on how this OSU game goes. We will be live at 8:45, and I know for sure that Reichley, Ruby, and possibly Lincoln from American Football Network will be live tomorrow. I'm not sure on my schedule tomorrow, but it's scheduled to be on our channel right now. That could change. But as of now, it will be on Sorgy Stories tomorrow. So, enjoy. It's going to be fun stream. But I know we hadn't said it yet, but prayers to New Orleans. Tragedy that happened there early this morning. Thoughts, prayers go out to that community. It was the right move to move it back to tomorrow. So, original time was 8:45 tonight, then moved to 8:45 tomorrow. Now 4:00 kickoff tomorrow, due to the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl kicking off at 7:30 in Jacksonville between Duke and Ole Miss. So here we go. 4th and 3. Oregon's going to go for it here. Ball at their own 48-yard line. 11 for 17 on the year on 4th downs. Gabriel drops back under pressure. Dylan Gabriel throws it. Almost intercepted. Ohio State will take over in Oregon territory. Now, not the start you want from Oregon here. Not the first half you want at all. Struggling offense early in this game. So here we go. It is Ohio State with a whole bunch of men in motion. Man of the backfield, 2 receivers to the left. Now 1 moves still on the left side. It's going to be a handoff to the back. Big gap there for Judkins. He gets a nice little gain there for OSU. So, yeah. That's what's going on right now. Will Howard's throwing deep. Howard, look at end zone. Touchdown OSU. Jeremiah Smith into the end zone. It's 23-0 Buckeyes. 2 plays, 48 yards, 43-second scoring drive. This is quickly turning into a blowout in Pasadena. And the Ducks faithful are stunned. PAT is up. And good. 24-0 OSU leads. We'll be back after the break right here on Sorgy Stories. Back here in Pasadena, OSU out to a huge lead. After the Jeremiah Smith touchdown, and Cole Chip Kelly is looking really good tonight. Really good with this offense up 24-0 with the Buckeyes. So 10:28 to go until the half, and Ohio State up 24 here. Oregon on this possession looking to show some sort of life and maybe cut this deficit, hopefully. It would be cutting it to 17, which still isn't great, but it's possible to come back from that, obviously. We saw 16-point comeback by Arizona State earlier. And now Oregon looking to have a comeback of their own. So Dylan Gabriel and company starting at the 25-yard line. Man in motion for the Ducks. Will move to the backfield. Gabriel in the shotgun. Man to his right. Gonna be a run for -1 yard. There for Oregon. So, looks like James is heading to the locker room, which is not what you want to see if you're the Ducks. Not what you want to see at all if you're the Ducks. Gabriel drops back, throws just short of the first down. So second 11 is going to turn into a big third down here. Probably 3rd and 1-ish if I had to bet. Dylan Gabriel in the shotgun, man to his right in the backfield. Gabriel. Not quite snapping it yet. Gabriel drops back, looking to throw. Gabriel under pressure. Gabriel escapes, rolls to his left, throws away. And complete. Almost an interception, but now 4th and 4 for Oregon. They're going to have to go 3 and out and punt this one again. Oregon punts. Ohio State takes over. And I just don't know what this is. Oregon dominated their competition all year, and just today, they just look like an entirely different team. I don't know what it is about them. But wow. ESPN's going to take a commercial break. Appreciate you being in here, ELS. We're going to take a commercial break as well. On the other side, more action from this blowout in Pasadena. back here in Pasadena. OSU up 24-0. So we see Oregon's back. James heading back to the locker room. Oregon just looks terrible today. I mean, it's just ugly. Really ugly. I don't know what on earth is happening right now. And OSU just put another touchdown on the board. 30-0 after a Travion Henderson run to the house. This is very quickly turning into not much of a game at all. PAT up and good, 31-0. Cole, it's 31-0. Not even you could have called 31-0. No one could have called 31-0. Man, this is just rough. I didn't, but if we do, cool. Good for us. I'm not going to get my hopes up, though, and, get overly talking about it until the news actually comes out or we get, a really, really, report on it. 2nd and 12. Nah, it's depressing that I have to stay here for another. Hopefully this game gets over quick. Hopefully they move. At this point, I just don't want Oregon to score again. I just want this to, just go back and forth because, just nothing. Because, OSU, yeah, incomplete to pass. Seeing Ohio State do well makes me want to just, bang my head into the wall. Gabriel is going to scramble, throws. Incomplete. Yeah, it's just sad that we gotta sit through this entire crappy game. I'm already getting ready to throw, not for this stream's graphics, but for our post-game show / it's called College Football Talk. Make sure to tune in at 8:45. for that, as Oregon's going to punt this one away. I think we're going calling show style. I'm not quite sure on what exactly we're going to be doing with that, but OSU just going to, after a punt there, OSU will take over. 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes. But I'm already ready to put Ohio State into the Cotton Bowl at this point. Up 31-0 there. I'm sticking them into the graphic right now. I'm ready to Ohio State. Perfect. Will Howard out for another drive, trying to make this one a 38-0 game. My dad was talking about a 50-0 game as a hypothetical. I think we might actually get there. Travion Henderson across the 50. Or no, that's not Henderson. Who is that? Judkins, excuse me. Is that Judkins or is that somebody else? Let's find out. Yeah, it's Quinshon Judkins. There we go. Perfect. Well, Howard. I bet. I can only imagine. Yeah, Peach Bowl was incredible. We were live for that. Crazy, crazy game. Going to be a Buka out to the outside, getting a few yards. Third down, 6:20 to go. So 1st and 10 there. OSU not getting much, it seems like. Oh, no, they're actually going to get another 1st down on that into Oregon territory here. Good blocking. Well, Howard just runs right through there for the 1st down. $5:15 to go. 35-yard line. Howard fakes it, end off to the outside. Jeremiah Smith on the run out to the 30. OSU 1st and 10 there. All right. 4 minutes to go, 1st and 10 for the Buckeyes. Just driving down the field, getting closer to making this 38-0. 3:50 to go. Will Howard throws deep. Incomplete. Second 10 now. 3:46 to go until the half. Going to be a run for a couple of yards there to Judkins. Will Howard throws, end zone, incomplete. 4th and 8. Henderson there, the target. So Fielding on for another kick, trying to make this one 34-0. It is up. It is good. 34-0 Buckeyes. 3 minutes to go until the half. Here on Storage Storage View. We'll take a quick break on the other side. More action from Pasadena. Back to action here in Pasadena. Second down after Dylan Gabriel's throw there. Was complete for a yard. 2nd and 9 now. 2:38 to go. Ball at the 26 of Oregon. Oregon looking to, I guess, make the best comeback we've ever seen in college football playoff. Essentially here, looking to do something special, to say the least. It's going to be a fake throw. It's going to just be a handoff. Couple yards there, 4-yard or so gain. Sets up 3rd and 5 here for the Ducks. Timeout on the field. We will take another break here 2-minute warning. We will take another break. Back with more action from the Rose Bowl right here on Georgia Stories. Back once again here in Pasadena. It's 34-0 Buckeyes. And how about Texas becoming the only team in college football history? Dillon Gabriel drops back, scrambles to his right, throws on the run. Complete for a first down. Texas, only team in college football history to win every single New Year's Six bowl game. They've won the Orange, Cotton, Fiesta, Peach, Rose, and Sugar. So congrats to them. Gabriel throws deep, airs it out, one-on-one, and complete. Dillon Gabriel drops back, looks to throw, scrambles a little bit, scrambles more. Dillon Gabriel sacked. 3rd and 10. 3rd and 14, probably, actually. 3rd and 13, 3rd and 14. Not a fun time to be a fan of Oregon, for sure. It's rough there. If you're a Ducks fan. 3rd and 16 now, actually. Back at the 34. Gabriel in the shotgun, man to his left. Scrambling. Goes. Complete into OSU territory. Man breaks loose to the 30. Inside the 25. Oregon finally showing some life offensively. Down 34-0 with 30 seconds till the half. They need a touchdown bad here to give them some sort of momentum going into half. Not that it will matter for much, but at least they can try, right? Gabriel scrambling, throws to a man. It's just going to be a one-on-one. Kind of beats his man, but gets tackled, so nothing really too crazy. So, 2nd and 6 here for Oregon, 17 seconds. Looking to do something here if you're the Ducks. Gabriel, under pressure, avoids a sack. He's going to run it himself. Gets out of bounds with 10 seconds to go. 9 seconds now, actually, on the clock. It's rough, man. Rough day for Oregon. So 3rd and 1 here. Gabriel throws across the middle, complete to the 5. Close, 3 seconds. Oregon will have to call a quick timeout with 2 seconds here. I'm going to go ahead and update that for you all great people. So Oregon uses their 2nd time out of the half with 1st and goal. They need 7 here unless they're kicking for 3, but we'll see what they do here. So here we go. 1st and goal. 1 play for Oregon here as they look to do something. Gabriel in the shotgun alone. He's got 5 wide. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Gabriel. Ohio State ices Oregon with a second left on the clock. If that. 3 seconds, actually, left on the clock. Now that they've updated it. Each team with a timeout left. man. Rough day for the Ducks. Gabriel scrambling. Looks to throw. Touchdown, Ducks. Oregon finally gets on the board with no time left in the half. Oregon on the board. 34-6 the score now. You got a foot down. So Oregon is going to actually go for 2 now. Trying to get every point they can. Man in motion left to right. 5 wide here for the Ducks. Put another man in motion to the backfield. Going to be a fake to him. Gabriel throws. 2-point conversion is good. 34-8 heading into the half.
Want a break?
I'm good for now,
Okay.
but I will take a break in a few moments.
Yeah,
So as you can see there, halftime score 34-8 in Pasadena. Rough to be a Duck so far, I'd say.
I promise that during the break I will not do my Duck impersonation. It's tempting.
Of course it is. As we see the reporter down there on the field talking to Ryan, he must be pretty happy knowing his job's pretty secure right now. But yeah, so tough first half to be Oregon, but a great first half for the Buckeyes. We're going to take a quick commercial break here. I'm just going to throw on some music while I'm working on some stuff behind the scenes. But on the other side, halftime coverage. We will see you on the other side of the break. Okay, folks, we are back, and to go ahead and give a nice little yap session for halftime is my dad, Badgers Radio Network veteran, Jason. Thank you, dude.
Formerly with the Wisconsin Badgers football broadcast, a previous Rose Bowl pregame host. So, yeah, I'm here to spell the kid while I'm also doing work for my side job, my freelance work. But a couple things to think about as we watch the remainder of this Rose Bowl. Biggest blowout in Rose Bowl history? We are about halfway there based on the pace of this current blowout right now. Again, a 34-8 score. The biggest blowout in Rose Bowl history was in 1948. The 1947 national champion Michigan Wolverines pulverized USC 49-0. Now, if Ohio State wants to absolutely obliterate Oregon and set an all-time bowl record, let's see, it's right now a 26-point lead. They would need to produce a 57-point win. The all-time record right now is Army over Houston in the 2018 Armed Forces Bowl, a 78-14 score for the Cadets over the Cougars in that contest. So, yeah, we're getting somewhat close to record-breaking territory with what Ohio State is doing to the Oregon Ducks in what for me is an absolutely unforeseen result so far. To be down 26 points to Ohio State. There's an old line from an NFL Films broadcast or NFL Films review of an old Super Bowl. Super Bowl 13, where it talks about how a particular bad play was a bitter pill to swallow. And I think this could apply to Ohio State and this stretch of the season where they are right now. I'm going to use the line from NFL Films. Michigan defeating Ohio State was just about the most bitter pill that the Buckeyes could have swallowed when they got beat in the horseshoe by their hated arch rival and then had the Michigan flag planted right smack dab in the middle of midfield at Ohio Stadium. But to quote NFL Films, it was just the tonic they needed. I think that has awakened Ryan Day's squad to such a fever pitch that they aren't just going out there to win each game on the pathway to a national championship. They're going out there to boat race people. They boat raced a very talented Tennessee Volunteer squad. They are boat racing the number one ranked team in America right now. They are destroying them. I mean, it is one of those games where you want to stick around for one of two reasons. One, maybe see if miraculously this explosive Oregon offense, which has been exactly that for the entirety of the season, to see if they can somehow come back and pull that off in the ultimate bowl game setting, the Rose Bowl, and do something miraculous and memorable for the entirety of college football history. Something that will never, ever be forgotten. But the other reason is because you just want to see how bad this blowout gets. I mean, does it get to the level of a 40 or 50-point win? Does it get that bad? I mean, people love seeing car wrecks at NASCAR races. People love seeing like demolition derbies. People love seeing just abject destruction sometimes. Not in a way that's like humanly damaging, but they just love seeing wrecks. So maybe people want to stay tuned in just to see how bad this game gets. We'll go to the comment section. Tell me, give a comment as to the worst blowout that you could not take your eyes off of, that you had to see just to see how bad it was going to get. This game has the potential to become that. If Oregon doesn't wake up, if they're that demoralized by what is transpiring in this game, and they don't have the wherewithal to come back, and I think they do, but if mentally they just don't have it, and Ohio State continues to just destroy them, this could be one of those games that you want to continue watching just to see how bad this gets. I mean, this could be fun watching for that purpose. So let's stay tuned for that. Just how bad is this game going to be? That could be fun to partake in. And mind you, I am no Ohio State fan. If anyone can't stand Ohio State, it's me. I think the fan base, with its arrogance, when you are so arrogant that you want that as a university, you want to trademark the word "the," or as they say, the Ohio State University, and you want to trademark the word "the," yeah, you're a little too big for your britches. When you trademark the phrase "Go Bucks," so the Milwaukee Bucks cannot use the phrase "Go Bucks" in any of its marketing, because that would be a trademark violation of Ohio State and the Buckeyes, a team that isn't officially called the Bucks. You're a little too big for your britches. I can't stand Ohio State, but I want to watch partially just to see how ugly this gets. It's like you shake and you shudder and you're like, but you can't stop watching. Just because you want to see how bad this game turns out to be. Part of me is thinking that. That this game could be as bad as the previous playoff game, as ELS Train Tuber 501 said, how good the Peach Bowl was. An all-time classic between Texas and Arizona State. That's what you want the college football playoff to be. That kind of a special game. Or like when Alabama-Georgia was a couple of years ago. Or like Alabama-Clemson was when Clemson beat them on a last-second touchdown pass to win the national title a couple of years ago. You want to see those kind of games in the playoff. But here's the problem. College football is so much more prone to blowouts. Before this round of playoff games began, I went back and I studied every single college football playoff game since this current iteration of the championship postseason began in 2014. I went back and looked at them all. Only 29% of CFP games, since they went to the 14 playoff, only 29% of those games have been one-score games, 8 points or closer. 29%. That's less than 1 out of every 3 games. That's slightly above 1 out of every 4 games. Only 1 out of every 3 or 4 games is a good game, at least at the end. They are just prone the sport is just prone to blowouts. And it makes me not want to watch. I mean, what makes one and done playoffs so fun to watch is that you get one shot at it. You better win that individual game or your season's done. That's the drama of it. But when so few games are competitive, there's not much drama. There's not much drama to it. So that's why advantage NFL over college football when it comes to postseason. Because in the NFL, I did a study of the last 10 years, the same time frame as the college football playoff. In the last 10 years of the NFL playoffs, 56% of games are one-score games. 8 points or closer in the final score. More often than not, an NFL playoff game will be competitive, and it will have that same level of the season's over if you lose kind of drama, where it's winner take all. And that's what I love about the NFL playoffs, the college football playoffs, and the NCAA basketball tournament. You talk about how great the other sports are. And Major League Baseball, the Stanley Cup playoffs, the NBA playoffs. I love the playoffs in any of those sports. It's fantastic sports theater. A series can have so many twists and turns that are great. And they always talk about how great Game 7 is. How amazing Game 7 is in those sports. Because you have that every possession means everything, because your season is at stake, win or lose, in a Game 7. It puts your hair on the back of your neck standing up. Makes you feel the jitters, makes you crazy. That's what Game 7 does to you. Well, last year, in the NBA playoffs, the Major League Baseball playoffs, and the Stanley Cup playoffs, only 5.8% of games were Game 7s, or in a 5-game series, a Game 5, or in a 3-game series, Game 3. That's what's beautiful about the NFL playoffs, the college football playoffs, and the NCAA basketball tournament, men's or women's. Every game is a Game 7. Every game has that type of drama. Every game has that type of insane passion and spine-tingliness, because everything is at stake in that moment, in that game. That's what makes these games so incredible. And why, with college football playoff, if you've got a fantastic game, it is must-see TV. But they're so relatively rare, because they only happen 1 out of every 3 or 1 out of every 4 games. And I don't know how you solve that. The only way that you'd really realistically be able to solve that is if you had better balance among the teams in college football, like you do in the pro sports leagues. But in the pro sports leagues, you have drafts where the worst team gets the pick of the best player. I don't see any time coming soon when you're going to see college sports reset how they bring players to the universities and see, like, I'm just going to throw out a hypothetical example. 1-win Kent State or 0-win Wyoming drafting the top 5-star quarterback recruit in high school and bring him over. You're never going to see that balance in college sports. So it is always going to be more prone to blowouts. And that's why I'm much more of a fan of the NFL playoffs. Much more a fan of the NFL playoffs than I am college football playoffs. Or the NCAA tournament, which I think is also spectacularly fun, or especially the other major pro sports. The NFL's got the best postseason. I think what college football is doing is better than it's ever been with a 12-team playoff. I think the arguments that we're now getting into as to who belongs in the playoff, when we're trying to figure out which team number 12 should be, that's in a situation where it's a team that is not going to win the national championship. So no team that could win a national title typically is going to be eliminated from actually making the playoff. And that's why I like the size of these tournaments as it is now. If it was me and I was commissioner of college football, I would expand to 24 teams. Have 2 rounds on campus, then have your round of 8 with these 4 bowl games, and then have your semis and championship. With your 24 teams, you have every conference champion. With the Power 4 conferences, I think you make it official that if you are a regular season champion, you're in. Because you want to reward regular season play. And then the other bids are all going to be at larges. Bear with me as I attempt to fix our graphics, as I am no graphic artist. So you're going to see the halftime graphic up there just for a sec. I apologize for that. I'm going to need the kids' help. Here he comes.
What's up?
Anthony's going to be taking over now that we're about to start the third quarter. We're going to need to change the
Good.
graphic.
That's good timing.
So here we go.
Oregon will return this one. As I see crickets in the comment section throughout halftime.
Daddy didn't hold the audience.
We've stayed with 2 people in the chat for a pretty long time. So 2 people watching, appreciate you. Honestly, if I were you, I wouldn't want to be watching this, as it's an absolute murdering.
Yeah, well, I was telling people they should stay and watch the game just to see how bad it's going to be to see if it's the worst blowout in Rose Bowl history.
What's the current record?
49-0, Michigan over USC, 1948.
Okay, we'll see. Dylan Gabriel is going to fake the pass, but it's going to be almost no gain for Oregon. Oregon, what are you thinking with that play call on first down? You go 70. I mean, I'm bombing that thing down the field first down if I'm Van Lanning. I want a touchdown first play. I'm going 5 wide, deep. I mean, like, what are we thinking here? That would agree with that? First play of the half, he should have gone 5 wide.
I think you've got to play hurry up offense. I think you've got to go after it, be aggressive.
Yeah. Can't be don't run it on first down. Throw it deep. Gabriel looking to throw deep here. Sacked. Pretty unfortunate. If you are an Oregon fan. 3rd and very long now. For the Ducks, as I update the graphic here. Had a nice little sandwich and soup for dinner. And now, ready for some action Here's 3rd and 22. Deep in their own territory is Oregon. Gabriel scrambles. Almost gives himself up. Gabriel throws it. First down or incomplete. It's going to be called a catch. So 4th and inches. Did he get a foot down? Yeah, he got 2 feet down, actually. I mean, I think. Yeah, I think 4th and 1 here. Yeah, I think they should go for this. And yeah, they are.
You have to.
Yeah. Here's where I would think about running it. Here's where I would think about just quick run up the gut. Let's see what they do. Man in the backfield. 3 receivers wide. Yeah, they're just going to fake the run, and Gabriel, did he get it? We'll see. Yeah, I think he got that first down. The spot at least suggests so. 1st and 10 Oregon Ducks here in this 3rd quarter. So Oregon with their 7th first down of the day. Gabriel throws, has a man in space across the 50-yard line. So nice little throw there for the Ducks. 2nd down now. 12 minutes to go. So Oregon finally moving the ball. Looking to finally do something in this game at least. Gabriel with a late handoff for nothing. I don't know what happened there. But it's going to be 3rd and 5 now for Oregon. Okay, let's make sure we're good here. Yes, we are. Gabriel, 3rd and 5, under pressure, throws across the middle, has a man. Complete in OSU territory. So the Ducks are moving the ball down the field here. So 1st and 10 now for Oregon, inside the 30 of OSU. Play action pass. Gabriel rolls out to his left, makes a throw in motion. Oregon inside the 5, down at the 2-yard line. 1st and goal Ducks. Looking to make this a game. Oregon's going to run. They marked him down at the 3. Going to be a quick little rush there. 2nd and goal now. So Oregon moving down the field. To whoever, the one person watching, please comment. Keep the discussion going. Second and goal for Oregon. Penalty on the field. Looks like it's going to be on the Ducks as they will head back 5 yards. Or will it be a timeout? Let's see. Timeout, Oregon. So they avoid the delay of game with a timeout. We'll take a quick break. On the other side, more action from Pasadena right here on Sorcery Stories. For more action from Pasadena. SU and Oregon here. Oregon with the ball, first and goal. Dillon Gabriel started today 11 for 19. Now he's 9 for 9 since 144 yards on that 9 for 9 streak. Oregon looking to show some sort of life here. First and goal. They can cut this deficit almost. I mean, they can cut this deficit significantly with another 8 points here if they can put that up here. So here we go. Dillon Gabriel under center, man in motion, left to right. He's going to hand it off. It's going to be a run down to the goal line. Is it a touchdown? Touchdown, Ducks. Oregon with another touchdown. They will make it here 34-14, a 10-point game. Noah Whittington into the end zone for Oregon. Beautiful play execution, beautiful blocking up the middle. Whittington gets in. That's what you want if you're a Ducks fan right now. It's a nice, easy run, and now they'll go for 2, I'm assuming. Gonna pretty safely, I think, presume that here. No, they're going to take the PAT here and make it a 34-15 game. So an interesting strategy, excuse me, by the Ducks. Not one that I don't love, but they're going to make the PAT and make it 34-15 here. So Oregon showing life. down 19 points here. So down 2 touchdowns and a field goal. I guess that's why they did that. So we will be back after the break from Pasadena. It is OSU 34, Oregon 15 right here on Sorgy Stories. Back here in Pasadena, life being shown by Oregon, down 19 points. Anthony Sorgi here with you. Oh man, I feel bad for you. That was a really, really good game. I thought they were about to win that towards the end. But couldn't quite get it done. Shout out to ASU for a heck of an effort, though. We're going to kick this off, looking for a big stop here. OSU will take the touchback. So 1st and 10 for OSU here at the 25. Will Howard's going to hand it off to his back, Travion Henderson, who will get about 3 yards on that rush. We'll set up a 2nd and 7. So yeah, 2nd and 7, as I said here. And not many Oregon fans heading out. Blitzing on 4th down is a must-style play. Yeah, Will Howard throws. Gets a man in Egbuka there. Muhammad making sure that he shows he did not touch anyone. Make sure to tune in to everyone else watching. Make sure to tune in at 8:45 for a little bit of Rose Bowl post-game, Sugar Bowl preview-ish, college football playoff talk. Right here on Sorgy Stories. We might drop the link at some point. Let the people check in and see talk a little bit on about this CFP. Will Harron under pressure. Scrambles. Gets it off. It is incomplete. 4th and 3, and the Oregon sideline electric. The Oregon faithful are electric. The vibes are good on that side. And it's going to be a forced 3 and out. Big pass rush there for the Ducks. Beautiful, beautiful pass rushing effort. 4th and 3, OSU to punt this one away. Man, imagine if Oregon returned this to the house. Punt is away. That one is deep to the 25. They're going to fair catch it, which is probably the smarter idea. So 1st and 10, You're on 1st down for Oregon. So, yeah, we're going to take a quick break. But on the other side, just chatting some more football here. In Pasadena. So, we will see you all later. Not done yet. I'll with the ball. It's 4 here. They put up an 8 spot. They can let this to go on to one game. Trying to create stuff like that for the night.
Sure.
Well, doing it.
Dad is going to be with you for the rest of the contest, as we just saw a vid of the view from Pasadena into the city. It is smog-filled.
Of course it is.
That said, I would much rather be there than Philly.
Yeah.
You got ourselves a tip pass, almost intercepted on 1st down. 3 more downs for Oregon, as they are definitely in permanent 4-down mode, I think, this entire remainder of the half.
Yeah, I'd agree with that here. They can win. There's no doubt they can pull this off.
They are in position where if they get 2 touchdowns, 2 2-point conversions, and a field goal, It's 34 all game, and they've got the kind of offense that can put up these kind of points.
Yeah, their defense looks good through a possession. Just going to be about holding Ohio State to at the most they can only really hold them to 3 more points in this half.
Maybe even that.
Yeah. Gabriel scrambles under pressure. Gabriel, down he goes.
That's covered sack.
Yeah.
That's a covered sack. Sawyer getting to the quarterback, but that's on your defensive backs. And you can see on this view that we're going to have just how well they covered Oregon's receivers.
Yeah. Phenomenal coverage there by the Buckeyes.
Nothing there.
Yeah. So here we go at the 18-yard line. Gabriel in the shotgun, 5 wide here. What you would expect on 3rd and 17. Sometimes you see it back in there, but not for this one. And they're going to go a little bit of prevent defense here for
while Oregon adjusts their play call, very similar to St. Joe's prep at half their plays, if not more.
Yeah. Gabriel scrambling, trying to do something. Sack.
Nothing there.
Yeah, you're going to go for it here, though. 3rd and 20-something or 4th and 20-something, you got to go for this.
I mean, it's 4th, and the first down mark is East LA, and they have to get there.
Yeah.
No, I think they're punting.
Okay.
I think the quarterback's running off the field.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't shock me.
Because if they don't convert on that first down, Ohio State's 1 score away from permanently putting this game away.
Yeah, so I understand the punt here. Deep in their own territory.
I get it.
Punt is barely away. Good punt. It's going to bounce into OSU territory all the way to the 44
and a third. I mean, you can see the effect of the smog just from the Goodyear blimp.
Yeah.
It's that hazy. Wow.
Yeah, so we're going to run, I think, if ESPN's taking a break. Let's see if they are or not.
Yeah,
yep, they will. So we'll take a break as well. On the other side, the more action here on Sorgy Stories.
first down completion out of bounds for a short gain for Ohio State.
Yep.
In a game that when we saw the bracket, when we got to the round of 8, I'm like, this is going to be the national championship game in one sense, because the national champion, I think, is going to come out of this game.
Looks like, I mean, the only team I could see beating Ohio State is Notre Dame, depending on how they look, because they were dominating against Indiana.
Yeah.
Until the last few minutes when it was a blowout and Indiana came back.
Another screen in the flat, another short gain because Oregon knows what's coming.
Yep.
It is becoming the most overused, underproductive play on offense.
Yes, it has.
I mean, these teams at college level, pro level, they know it.
Yes, they do.
Third and 8 now for Ohio State at the 46-yard line. This is a massive stop for Oregon if they want to have any chance to win this thing. They've got to make stops on plays like this. And they don't. First down, Ohio State at the 43 of Oregon.
Yeah, so not where you want to be if you're the Ducks here. In your own territory defensively.
In the mostly useless trivia territory when it comes to Oregon, by the way. The state is called Oregon. The town in Wisconsin is officially pronounced Oregon. The city government in Oregon, Wisconsin says to pronounce it Oregon, even though it's spelled the same way that the state of Oregon is spelled, but they pronounce it differently. First and 10 to the 44-yard line, actually, for Ohio State, for wide-out formation play action. And mid-range and another spectacular catch.
Jeremiah Smith, freshman, 17 years old.
I mean, he's only been driving for a year and change, and he's making world-class wide receiver plays in the Rose Bowl. That's just mind-boggling.
Yeah, it is. Without a doubt.
187 yards receiving today, including 2 scores. I mean, and we're not even out of the third quarter yet.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to have to look up the all-time record for receiving yards at a Rose Bowl, because he could be on pace to break it. First and 10 to the 28 for Ohio State. Handoff.
That's Henderson on the outside. Or no, excuse me, Junkins on the outside for first.
Face mask.
Yep, there's flag.
That's going to be an obvious face mask.
Yeah.
Rose Bowl receiving yards record. We already have an Ohio State Buckeye who has the record. I think that record's probably going to be safe at the current pace.
Chris Carter?
Nope.
Oh, Jackson Smith in Jigba.
347 yards.
Yeah, now, of course, with the Seattle Seahawks. First round pick.
That's like a fifth of a mile.
Yeah, it's crazy. For you in here,
in one game.
Happy New Year.
Big Tube!
Yeah, Big Tube. This is going right back, and Happy New Year to you, Big Tube. Yeah, so Big Tube Dogs game tomorrow. We were talking to a Notre Dame fan and Reichley from the Football Expert earlier, who will be, or at least I'll be live.
Pitch out left side,
and
it's 40-15.
Yep.
The bloodletting gets worse. It just gets worse. Trevion Henderson, 8-yard score.
Trevion Henderson's extremely good. But Vic, as a Dogs fan, going into tomorrow, how you feeling? What's the kind of confidence level scale to 1 to 10? I talked to a Notre Dame fan who I was live with from the Peach Bowl. He said it's a 6 out of 10 right now, meaning he thinks they're going to win, but not extreme confidence in that. But yeah, and we'll probably be talking more Notre Dame, Georgia at 8:45 Eastern.
Extra points good, 41-15 Ohio State. And by the way, during the replay, you saw those trees in the background on the east side of the Rose Bowl Stadium. That's one of the beautiful things about that stadium is the bowl and the fact that you have the natural view, the view of the San Gabriel Mountains. It's just such a picturesque setting. And right about this time, you begin to see sunset over the west side of the stadium.
Yeah.
It is the most picturesque view, in my opinion, in sports.
I agree with
in
that.
stadium sports. I mean, the only thing I can think of that could surpass it would be like Augusta National
Yeah.
or
Like, yeah,
Pebble Beach,
like
the
Amen,
18th hole.
Amen Corner or something like that. Yeah.
I mean, the view of Pebble Beach at sunset.
Yeah.
In a U.S. Open. That's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah. Tom can't appreciate you. So 2:19 to go here in the third quarter. It's going to be a kickoff from the Buckeyes to the Ducks. They're looking to pull off one of the biggest comebacks in Rose Bowl history.
Or in any other bowl game history.
Yeah, that's true.
Down 26 points. It still technically would be a 34-point comeback if they did it.
Yeah. Technically, it would be. Yeah, you're right.
But highly unlikely.
Yeah.
Looking at the fans and the Christmas colors in the stadium, it seems like it's 70% Ohio State.
Yeah, that feels about right. I thought the tickets were split up 50-50 for these games.
They are, but it's not as if they give 45,000 seats to Ohio State fans and 45,000 seats to Oregon fans. You've got a certain amount that go to the general public.
Okay.
1st and 10 throw, again, another wide receiver screen. This time I actually gained 8 yards.
Because, like, in the Peach Bowl, it was literally split. The stadium was split 50-50. Like, there was no general public idea. It was literally just half of the stadium was Arizona State. And they're saying that at the Fiesta Bowl last night, it was 50-50. There was no this general public seating thing. It was half the crowd was one color, half the crowd's the other. But in here, it feels like the same thing because one side of the stadium is green and one side is red. But there are some sprinkled. I'm guessing those are second market seats.
There's probably a lot of secondary market seating.
Yeah.
There's probably a lot of sponsor seating, especially with the Rose Bowl.
But I just don't know how that could work with the way it's set up stand-wise to where it's like
pass tipped, incomplete 3rd and 2.
To where it's like just split down the middle, Oregon, Ohio State within the stand seating chart, like the way it's set up. I don't know how there are sponsor seats. I don't know how that works.
Oh, there's always sponsor seats for events like this.
Because I'm just saying at the Peach Bowl and the Fiesta Bowl, you did not see any group that was not neutral. That was not wearing one team or the other's colors.
Let's just say the corporate types and the LA Rich set have permanent seats for this.
Okay.
I would believe would have some permanent seating opportunity available, and then a lot goes to the secondary market and it goes to the fan bases who want to travel.
Yeah, and that's how you see these weird setups. And yes,
a sack for Ohio State.
Wow.
4th and 4 probably. I think you're going to see Oregon go for this one.
Yeah, Dom, I don't think the bye has anything to do with it. In the other 2 games, it was just now in this game, I'm actually thinking maybe the bye does have something to do with it.
It's possible because again, Ohio State got up a lather in their win over Tennessee.
But on the other hand, like in the other 2 games, I just think Penn State and Texas were better. They're straight a better football teams.
I think that's part of it. I think, again, moving to a 2014 tournament, Oregon's actually going to punt. But moving to a 2014 tournament would allow the best seeded teams that we get a first-round bye to get a home field advantage for a game, and I think maybe get a bit more of that lather as you get a fair catch at the 15-yard line after the punt, but get a little bit more of a lather and get a bit more momentum going into the round of 8 bowl games.
Yeah, that's true.
But when we think about the size of the crowds and who's got more of an advantage, I still remember the first time that in my lifetime that my Wisconsin Badgers, if you will, made the Rose Bowl was January 1st, 1994, when they played UCLA.
Yeah.
In UCLA's home stadium at a time when it sat 100,000 people, and 70,000 of those fans were Wisconsin fans. Wisconsin fans bought up a big chunk of the UCLA seats.
Yeah.
And that's how they got the advantage. 1st and 10, running playoff, right tackle,
Judkins
and it
there.
gains 12.
Quinshon Judkins, an absolute beast.
But there's some flaggage.
Hopefully this one's coming back.
We're saying hopefully because, 1, we both can't stand Ohio State, and 2, we actually want a good game.
Yeah. More than anything at this point, it's me wanting a good game. Holding.
Yep, that's going to be half the distance to the goal. It's going to be first and about 17 and a half.
Okay.
But it is interesting to see how the fan view breaks down when you're in the stadium.
Yeah, for sure.
I got to look something up as we're now on 36 seconds left in the third quarter. 41-15 Ohio State over Oregon.
So is Oregon as the higher seed? Are they going to get the fourth quarter song?
There is no fourth quarter song.
No, because like I know that they didn't do jumper. Oh, there is so neither team because neither team will have one.
No, because
Junkins runs for a couple yards.
I'm looking up right now who is being inducted into the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame.
I just don't know why they don't do that at halftime.
Because the bands are at halftime.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's true. That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
So go to the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame as we're now at the end of the third quarter. Get about to go to the fourth.
Yup.
They have not announced who the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame members are going to be for this year, apparently.
Okay.
I'm waiting to see who that will happen to be. I'm going to do one more. Okay, here we go. All right. Who will be mentioned at this particular time during this fourth quarter break are Oregon's LaMichael James and former Michigan State coach Mark D'Antonio.
We all know that name.
Yes, those two are going to be inducted into the Rose Bowl Hall of Fame. They are probably being announced right now.
Yeah.
And being honored.
Yes.
And I remember it when Wisconsin played TCU and I covered that game. At the fourth quarter, they honored 2011 Rose Bowl Hall of Famer Dick Enberg, who called the Rose Bowl for 10 consecutive years at NBC, I believe.
Wow.
And there was this issue of, well, we're not playing jump around at the start of the fourth like they do at Camp Randall.
Yeah.
So to greet and congratulate Dick Enberg, all the Wisconsin fans
just did it anyway.
I mean, it was funny to watch.
We're on a different level of crazy.
Yes. We absolutely are.
As I am in the current process of trying to work on graphics for our stream in about 55 minutes.
Nice. Let's change to the fourth quarter.
Yes, thank you for that. Let me go ahead and
That's all right.
Do that now on my phone. Where are we here?
He's good at technology.
It's easy. You just throw a couple numbers in a graphic and hit a button on the computer.
All right. You just happen to keep the Canva app open.
Yeah. What is it, 4115?
Yep.
Canva's what we use for all of our graphics because it's just easy to use and it's free. So
that it is.
Yeah, easy enough. Like I technically through St. Just Rap I have access to Adobe, but I just don't use it.
It's still so crazy to see. I just saw a promo for the NFL draft on ESPN in April. And it's Lambeau Field.
It's gonna be
in
awesome
Green
to
Bay.
watch.
It's spectacular.
Yeah. It's going to be absolutely awesome to watch.
Oh, I know.
We dream. Any Packers fan would dream of going to that. It's like just an absolute dream bucket list thing. How long do you think it will be before the next draft is at Lambeau?
You're probably only going to get cities who host the draft that can't host a Super Bowl.
To a certain extent, yeah.
And if you think of the cities, the NFL cities that can host a Super Bowl, you're sort of going west to east. You got San Francisco, you got LA, you got Vegas, you got Phoenix, Dallas, although they haven't hosted the Super Bowl since. They'll probably host another one at some point. Houston,
Yeah.
New Orleans, Atlanta,
Tennessee will be able to soon.
Tennessee, Miami, Tampa. I don't think they're going to have Jacksonville again.
Maybe no after the new renovations. Maybe
Jacksonville. And then when Carolina builds a new stadium, that's a maybe.
I don't think they're building one though. They're just doing crazy renovations.
Okay.
Cleveland will be a yes.
Cleveland will eventually be a yes. Detroit could be a yes because they've got the.
Have they ever seen it before?
Yeah, they have.
Okay.
2005 season.
That's been a
We
hot
did.
minute.
And Oregon with a sack
There
on
you go.
3rd and 11, setting up a 4th down. So the defense is still doing its job.
Robert Ducky, you're the one. That's how childish this Oregon team has played.
Minnesota could host a Super Bowl.
If
If Chicago ever gets its act together, they could host a Super Bowl because their plan has a dome.
Well, do you see the new site they're talking about?
Where?
Right south of McCormick Place at like an old hospital site.
Makes sense.
I like the current Soldier Field site because it turns Soldier Field
Yeah.
into a park, which I really like. Like I feel like these old like stadiums and arenas, when they're done, they should just be turned into like football fields and basketball courts that people can play on.
Oregon is 51 yards from cutting the lead down to a 3-score game.
Oh, there's the sunset. You talk so much about that
Oh,
fourth quarter
man.
sunset, and it looks gorgeous
Oh, man.
over the skies of Pasadena.
So you've got about 15, 16 NFL cities that could host a Super Bowl. The other 17, they typically give the opportunity to host the NFL draft.
Yeah.
So Green Bay could maybe get it every 15 to 20 years.
Yeah.
So it might not be till like 2040, 2045 that they get it again. And that's if it works this time.
Yeah. I think
Okay.
it'll even if it snows, I think that's going to be great for TV.
Sure.
And I think the fans are going to love it.
It's going to be great for TV. It's going to be great for the fans. It's going to stink for the sponsors.
No, because remember the sponsors are going to be underneath the going to be underneath. They're going to be
But they're still going to be cold.
If I was a sponsor, if I was a football loving sponsor, if I was the CEO who loved football, I would be like, this is heaven.
What these sponsors do are give tickets to their people who
sure.
they want to impress. And if these people don't get impressed, the sponsors ain't going to be happy. They ain't going to sponsor another one of these at Lambeau Field.
That's true.
It's about making the people that they entertain happy. It ain't even about them.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's why.
Well, if I was someone who's a guest of a sponsor who loves football, then I would love it.
But it's not about people who love football.
Yeah,
it's
sure.
about people who want to be wined and dined.
Yeah, that's true.
So the other thing I've thought about with the college football playoff, and this came up today on College Game Day.
Yeah.
And Nick Saban, who should be the commissioner of college football,
Yes.
made a fantastic point about the idea of the Rose Bowl hosting every single national championship game.
Yep.
Sort of making it like the Masters or the Kentucky Derby, the Indy 500, where one site becomes the ultimate. The Rose Bowl, I think, deserves to be that. I also argue that it is too much to. I think you're asking too many cities to host semifinals and finals, and you're asking fans to travel to 4 sites in many cases to watch their team play.
You're not asking too many cities to do because it's an alternation of 6 cities.
I understand, but you're asking fans to travel too often.
Yeah, I get that.
I think you need to limit the amount of situations where you have fans having to take this road trips to see their team. What I would argue is that you have on-campus sites for the first and second round of a 2014 tournament. We got back throwback, and he just throws the thing out of bounds because the quarterback was incredibly well covered. Ohio State knew what was coming second and 10.
Yep.
You have campus sites until you get to the round of 8. Then you have 4 bowls, 4 New Year's Day bowls. And then the semifinals and finals are a football Final Four.
What do you do for the semis? Play one at the Coliseum, one at the SoFi?
No, same stadium.
I feel like it'd be cool if you did one at.
You could.
I feel like because the Coliseum deserves some
You could,
Coliseum deserves some love.
but the reason why you don't is because you want to sell a 3-game package.
Yeah, sure.
So you're going to sell a 3-game package. You better have the semifinals at the same stadium. You have it on divisional playoff weekend for the NFL. And you work it out with the NFL. So the Saturday games are the college football games, and the divisional playoffs, you have 3 Sunday games and a Monday night game.
Yeah.
For the divisional playoffs for the NFL. And you hold the semis at SoFi on a Saturday. And then the Thursday after that is the championship game at the Rose Bowl.
I can deal with it.
The perfect setting for a national championship game.
First down Ducks.
Yep. But you have to have the semis at SoFi because you can't tear up the Rose Bowl with 2 games in a day.
Yeah. CJ, what is up? Good to see you in here.
Hey.
Blowout is what's going on. Oregon looking to pull off a miracle.
1st and 10 to the 35 with 12:32 left.
Gabriel rolls out to
He's
his
got
right.
time to throw.
Running, throws, incomplete.
Ooh,
If I am, I just would have ran for a couple yards and gotten out of bounds
perhaps.
instead of just throwing to nobody.
The question was someone going to catch it before you get to that point? That's 2nd and 10. I love those 1994 Oregon Ducks uniforms, and I can't stand the silver helmets.
Yeah. I don't like the flying duck thing on the helmet. It's like, it's cool, but like,
Yeah, they did that against Wisconsin a few years ago. I remember it would just look weird.
yeah, I would go with a much simpler vibe.
Yeah,
Just stick an O on the helmet.
wide receiver screen,
Get a few yards.
7
Okay.
yards.
Sets up a third.
He was
and
down.
short.
He was down. It's not a fumble.
Sets up 3rd and short. But yeah, I wish that they would just stick an O on the helmet. That's what I would do. Do you agree with
They
that?
did on the back.
No. I mean, like as the like on the sides,
3rd and 3. 3rd and 3. He's got time. Plenty of time. Get rid of it.
Sacked from behind. 4th and long for
Curry with the sack.
not Stefan.
Nor Bill.
Who?
Bill Curry, 1960s Packer.
Listen, I know the name. I couldn't tell you a thing about him.
Also former coach at Georgia Tech, Alabama, and Kentucky. And great ESPN color commentator.
Yeah, CJ. Heartbreaking.
Yes.
Heartbreaking. Oregon Ducks more like Duck Oregons. They've gotten. Yeah, you're not right.
Oh, he's gonna have to gain
You're right.
about
Ted
10 yards.
Johnson.
Oh,
Dukes of
nice
there
cutback.
now.
Get a first down. Great cutback to get to the
Ted.
24-yard line.
Ted Johnson there.
Goodness.
We are 45 minutes away, tentatively, from start of college football playoff pop talk here on Sorgy Stories. I almost said Hawk Talk. I'm so used to saying Hawk
Yeah.
Talk, Hawk Talk on the half on the WSJP.
I mean, this tragedy, this
15,
attack.
15 killed
Oh my
now
gosh,
is the updated number from the French Quarter.
This is a time where Georgia and Notre Dame, tip, incomplete. If I'm in that game, I'm playing for them.
Yeah.
You're dedicating your game to them. And you have a city and a nation that needs you.
Yeah.
That needs you to play, to not just give a distraction, but to give a tribute.
Yeah. And a 4 p.m. start tomorrow, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, what a pitch out to get the first down and get inside the 10-yard line of the 9.
There you go.
Gabriel, a smart pitch out beyond the line of scrimmage, which is perfectly legal as long as it's a lateral.
Yeah. Just
Heads
throws it
up
behind
play.
him. That's what an NFL, a guy who's heading to the NFL is going to do.
Yeah.
And we know he's heading to the NFL considering that Oregon apparently has already offered Quinn Ewers $4 million in NIL for next year, Texas quarterback.
All right. What you want to do if you are Oregon, 3 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions, and a field goal win it.
Yeah.
Ridiculously tall task, but not impossible.
Yeah.
Frankly, if I'm Oregon, I'm on-siding every kickoff after a score. I'm on-siding every kickoff.
It's risky.
It's risky, but you don't have a choice, as far as I'm
unless
concerned.
you trust your defense.
I mean, I can understand the idea of trusting your defense, but would you trust that defense against the team that put up 41 points on you?
It's 41 now.
I wouldn't trust that defense.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
I'd be saying, hey, Ohio State offense, if we do our job, you ain't touching the football again for the rest of the game.
If your Dan Lanning is a defensive guy as head coach, he's there. He was Georgia's defensive coordinator when they won the national championship. So I don't know if that means anything, but just like maybe him knowing his defense, and maybe that will factor into his decision, as he knows his defense extremely well.
Yeah,
because he's their play caller. So just I guess watch to see if that affects anything. As ESPN is currently on a break, and let me take a look at the comments here, as I'm currently just working on graphics for our next stream.
ready.
Yup. Yeah. Yeah, Oregon got 15.
Yep.
But who knows? They could make this. What do you say? They need 8-3.
8-3.
8-3. Yeah,
Yep.
You're right.
They're gonna have to score 4 times.
Yeah, Arizona State was robbed. The refs robbed Arizona State of that one.
Remind me which play.
It was an absolutely obvious, like the textbook. Was it a textbook definition of targeting?
Oh yeah, that play.
It was like absolutely targeting, and they didn't call it. Like the clearest targeting I've ever seen.
That's one of those where I don't think he was actually literally trying to target helmet and purposely helmet to helmet hit him.
Yeah, but you have to call it.
You have to call helmet to helmet, but it's not targeting and ejection. But you still have to put the 15 yards on.
Yeah,
absolutely do. If you don't, you're going to get what's happening right now, which is calls of conspiracy.
And targeting doesn't always have to be an automatic ejection, if I remember correctly. They can kind of choose what level, I think, of targeting it is.
You have a great question right here, Baseball Road Tripper. And in response at this point, we don't know. A lot is depending upon my job situation.
Yeah, we'll see.
I want to create a lot more vlogs. I haven't had the bandwidth. Life right now has been too much work for me to be able to do it.
Yeah.
Plus transitioning for you for high school and a lot of stuff we've had to handle. So
yeah,
stay tuned. All right. 3rd and 13. Going end zone. Touchdown.
There we go. Ducks. Getting into the end zone.
Holding with the score. And are they going for 2 here? I think they need to.
Let's see.
But I don't think they're going to.
I'll throw the 6 up on.
That's a mistake. You need to get 3 touchdowns, 3 2-point conversions, and a field goal.
Yeah, I see it, CJ. Bucks need to get organized. That's bad.
That's bad.
They are going to go for 2.
Oh, you still have the starting quarterback here to do it.
Hand it off.
And he doesn't get it.
Nope. So 20-point game here.
So they're now going to have to score 3 more touchdowns to win it. 10 minutes to do it.
It's rough.
I think you gotta go onside now. That's my opinion.
We'll see. We'll see what Oregon does. They do have all their timeouts. Just putting that out there. Not saying that.
Oh, Oregon got away with a hold as well on that touchdown pass.
Wouldn't have mattered.
Oh, what if they would have called it?
You know what I'm saying?
Call back.
On the touchdown pass. I thought you said on the 2-point.
No, on the touchdown pass.
Yeah, that's different then.
Will you be streaming the Sugar Bowl?
Possibly. We'll see. The plan is to right now.
Stay tuned.
Yeah, the plan is to stream the Sugar Bowl, as long as I knock out some sport tomorrow.
Yeah, I have to. I'm knocking out work tomorrow as well, and a lot of it. So tomorrow's got the risk of being about a 12+ hour day. So I'm gonna need some major rest, and I gotta do some work on my freelance job too. As you're onside, it's really more of a pooch kick.
Squib.
Yep. Squib, pooch, I think they're both acceptable terms. And they get it down to only the 14-yard line. Okay. Driving back. Peter Herbstreit!
Peter did pick Oregon to win.
The official director of Snuggles.
Oh, they changed his name?
Yep.
Last year he was Chief Happiness Officer.
Yeah, Ben was Chief Happiness Officer.
Today Ben was R.I.P. Ben.
He's the director of Snuggles.
We miss Ben Herbstreit.
Yes.
But we love Peter Herbstreit.
Yes.
And by the way, the Herbstreit family booth, the press level, whatever it's called.
That's awesome.
It's named after the Herbstreits.
I wonder how much he had to pay for that.
No, they gave him that. That was like he didn't pay that. The Rose Bowl did that.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about Columbus.
No, I'm talking about at the Rose Bowl.
Oh, that's cool.
The Rose Bowl booth is named for Kirk Herbstreit and the family.
Wait, it's not the Keith Jackson broadcast booth?
No, it's the Herbstreit press level. They named it's still the Keith Jackson booth, I think.
Okay.
But it's like the level is like the Herbstreit level. I know there still is something named after Keith Jackson. Yeah.
I like Kirk Herbstreit. I don't know if I would put him at the level where he deserves to have an entire press level named after him.
Well, I think it's just because he's done so many Rose Bowls.
How many Rose Bowls has he done?
He's been the top dude on ESPN for as long as I've been alive.
15, 20 Rose Bowls I could see. But I still wouldn't put him in the class of a Dick Enberg, Kirk Gaddy, or Keith Jackson.
Yeah,
I know he plays a different role.
Yeah, he plays a different role. It's a big difference.
We love the Herbstreit Pooches.
Yes. By the way, how about his kid going to Michigan?
Yes. Instead of Ohio State or Texas, whom CJ cannot root for either one.
Yeah, I feel the same way, CJ. I'm with you on that one.
I'm a little bit more open to rooting for Texas in certain situations, but
not
that often.
I'm
first down, Ohio State.
On Henderson. Just a quick reminder that I'm a West Virginia fan, and Texas was not my favorite Big 12 team. So, yeah, we don't like them very much.
Technically, that was a pass to Henderson because the ball moved forward from the hands of the quarterback.
Yeah.
But it's a pass in name only.
Yeah.
So they officially rule it a completion. 7:50 and drip dropping on the clock in this game. We're almost half of the fourth quarter left to go. And Ohio State's up 20 and driving. A little quarterback keeper and slider by Howard. And he does not slide out of bounds. He stays in bounds. So the clock continues to wind.
Indeed, it does.
It's just maximizing the drainage of the clock until it puts Oregon completely out of its misery.
Which is where they are right now.
CJ, not Green Bay Packer fans, because the Packers are the only team to ever three-peat. And no, don't give me that, well, no one's ever three-peated in the Super Bowl era. The Green Bay Packers won the first two Super Bowls as the second and third years of a three-peat. And in 1965, they won the NFL championship. They would have blown the Buffalo Bills to smithereens that year if there had been a Super Bowl.
Technically, the NFL doesn't really count it as a three-peat, but
Yes, they do.
no, on all the TV graphics everywhere, everything all the broadcasters say. I don't care what the NFL website says. I'm saying the wide the overall accepted answer is that NFL championships don't count towards your things. And like,
No, it's not. It is accepted
No, I'm
that they
saying-
won 3 straight NFL titles. It is a three-peat.
I agree with you. I'm just saying none of the networks treat it that way. The NFL media landscape as a whole doesn't treat it that way.
I disagree. I think they count.
I agree with you, but I'm just saying I agree that it does. I'm just saying it. They don't seem to treat it that way. Like we don't ever hear like when the Chiefs are playing, no one ever says, "Yeah, well the Packers did it." No one says that.
Ohio State is going to be forced to punt on 4th and 9 with 6:15 left. And CJ, I would agree with you with the Steelers, but scoreboard, the Bills won by 2 scores in their game against the Chiefs. The Eagles have the talent to beat Kansas City. The Eagles have the talent to beat anybody, and that ball's going to go out of bounds or go into the end zone for a touchback. They have the talent to beat, bless you, beat anybody, and I think I would favor them over Kansas City.
I would agree
with what I've seen of Philadelphia this year.
I'd favor Detroit over Kansas City too.
Yeah, I'd favor either one of those teams.
Who else would I favor? I would favor the Bills.
Mm-hmm. I don't know about the Vikings. I don't know if I'm there yet.
I feel like any of those teams in the NFC, the Vikings could do it, the Packers could do it. Like
I don't know the Packers.
We beat them last year.
We beat them last year, but it's a different. It is a different animal in postseason.
I'm saying anyone can. I'm not saying they will. I'm saying anyone can.
CJ, blah 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 blah. And then Ryan the Great,
RTG, in the chat saying, "Well, this is not what I wanted to see." Yeah, no one wanted to see this, Ryan. We'll be live 8:45. Ryan, I think we're gonna do. I was actually gonna text you this anyway. I think we're doing like a little call-in, John. So you can. You're more than welcome to stop in and chat some college football with us.
What was I gonna say?
8:45 Eastern will start.
Just lost my thought. Just lost my train of thought. It was about the NFL playoffs. ELS train tuber. Yes, in my heart, I'm saying that. I don't think the Packers stand a chance in this postseason.
Yeah.
To win the Super Bowl. They do not stand a chance.
Yeah. I mean, like, we could do it, but
they have not played a game against a quality opponent where they have played 60 minutes of consistently solid to excellent football in all 3 phases. And you have to have that if you're going to beat any of the big 5 teams right now in the NFL.
Yeah.
And that's why they're 0-5 against the highest upper top quality echelon.
Did you see Tom Brady talking? Tom Brady was so funny. Did you see Tom Brady mid-game? Because I saw this clip. He's like, yeah, the Packers lost to 3 teams this year. He's like, they lost to the Eagles, they lost to the Lions, and I don't remember who they lost the other one to.
Oh, Tom!
And it was the Vikings.
Very possible.
Who they were playing. I had to laugh.
Very possible, CJ, but the question is, does Buffalo go into Kansas City and beat them? I would say right now,
yes.
52-48 odds, yes, they do.
They almost did when Buffalo was not as good of a team. This year, Buffalo is the best team in the league, and no one's convincing me otherwise.
Unless someone beats them.
Yeah.
Baseball road tripper. Buffalo, Minnesota will be hilarious to be the streak-ending bowl. Both those teams are 0-4 in Super Bowls. One of them would finally win. But then you have no winner, Bud Selig style, because no one can win that Super Bowl. Oh, we got ourselves a little quarterback run action and about a 7-yard run before slide on first down by Gabriel. But tick, 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 and they got to score 3 touchdowns to win. I credit Oregon for fighting back. And a first down throw at the 30.5-yard line. But I don't know. CJ. It's all in fun. All in fun. Ooh, one-handed catch for a little 6-yard gain. But tick, 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 tick. They need to get first down completions on every possible throw that they can. Every possible throw. That is such an incredible, intriguing game because you have a Detroit Lions team that has proven they can go anywhere and beat anybody. I mean, I loved what they did in coming back against a subpar San Francisco team that challenged them, but they proved that they can turn it on and beat anybody, anywhere, anytime. But Minnesota's got maybe the best home field advantage in the NFL in terms of crowd noise and the effective crowd noise. And they're just a really good team.
Yeah.
And I can see why LS Train Tuber saying Minnesota by field goal in that kind of a game.
Yeah.
I could see that. And we have a review. Was that a catch or not? Did the ball touch the ground? And did the ground truly assist in making that catch happen? It's been ruled complete. I'm beginning to think it's going to be a no based on the visuals that I saw.
Yeah.
So, CJ, much agreed. Much agreed.
Yes. That
January 1st, 2024, Michigan beats Alabama. December 31st, 2024, Michigan beats Alabama.
Pretty cool. It's like the Packers Cowboys.
1967.
Back in the day.
January 1st, 1967. Play stands is called, by the way, for Oregon, so it's completion. January 1st, 1967, the Cotton Bowl in Dallas, the NFL championship game for 1966. Packers win 34-27. December 31st, 1967, Lambeau Field, the Ice Bowl, 67 NFL championship game. Packers win 27-17.
Yes, they did.
You have a very good argument, Baseball Road Tripper. You have a very good argument. And a long throw to nobody.
Yep.
On second down, so it's 3rd and 6. CJ, you want to know why I know that? It's because my grandfather knew Vince Lombardi, so I heard all the stories. They were both involved in the Knights of Columbus. And working for the Packers radio network, I had to know that. I actually was the radio network's essentially historian. I did all history stories for that radio network for about 14 years.
When you're an old man, you need to go work at Lambeau Field as a historian.
If your mommy would be okay with it, and I'm not sure if she is, and I don't want to.
I think she would do that.
If she would be okay with us moving to Green Bay, and I become the Packers team historian, or heck, if they'd allow me to do it working remotely, I'd do it.
Yeah.
Maybe we might have to spend summers in Green Bay, and we figure that out. But
if it means you get free tickets to all the games,
yeah, we'll take it. We'll take it. Scramble, scramble, scramble. Sack behind the 20-yard line, and it's going to be 4th and
a lot, or maybe not. I don't know.
4th and the width of Los Angeles County.
RTG saying, I can't see anyone beating KC. I feel like this is getting repetitive where they lose in the regular season just for them to overcome the odds in the playoffs, and it doesn't look like Burrow will be in. Yeah.
But I just don't sense this year.
I don't trust them.
KC's got it. What they've had in the past.
They're gonna end up winning the Super Bowl because the refs are gonna bail them out like they always do at some point. No, they do. Like they either get. I was talking about this. Either the refs bail them every game this year that's been close. Either the refs bail them out, or they just get lucky. Like the other team makes some crazy dumb mistake, and they just get lucky. And it's like the Chiefs aren't a one-loss team. They're so much worse.
But when you've got the kind of opposition that they're going to have to face in a Super Bowl, as well as playing Buffalo, they ain't going to get lucky. They're going to have to earn it. And I think, frankly, those teams are more talented and are better to match up with them than what they faced most of the season.
Yeah.
I mean, Buffalo is the only team of the elites that they faced.
Yeah.
I mean, the NFC road has been so much harder.
Sure.
And I think in a Super Bowl, if Kansas City makes it, I think the hardened road especially in the playoffs, will help an NFC team.
Yeah.
Going up against the Chiefs, because they probably will have played two of the elite to have to get there.
Yeah.
CJ, I'm not the one making that argument.
I'm not.
Kid is.
Here's what I'll say. I'm not saying that it's intentional. Here's what I will say. Patrick Mahomes gets protected by the refs more than other quarterbacks do. Just that simple.
Mhm.
It's the same thing for Tom Brady.
Yep.
The refs are protecting the brand. If you breathe on Patrick Mahomes, just like Tom Brady, if you breathe on Patrick Mahomes, there's a penalty call. That I will say the refs are giving in favor of Patrick Mahomes. And it's not fair to Jalen Hurts and to Jared Goff and all the other really Josh Allen and all the other really, really good quarterbacks.
CJ, I like you. I don't mind the Chiefs. But I'm being realistic here. Ryan the Great. Girlfriend's dad asked me who I thought he should bet on KC or the Bills last year in the playoffs. He said Buffalo, and then the rest is history. Oh, man. Oh, man. Man, I'll be right back.
All right. Excuse me being on my phone so much. I'm trying to get one last graphic ready to go for our stream later. It should be done soon. As soon as I finish this. It's second down for Ohio State. 2:28 to go. This game's almost over. So, going to go ahead and throw this somewhere in here, somewhere over the rainbow. There we go. Hope to see you all in 20 minutes. Hey, I appreciate the love, CJ. I don't have anything against the Chiefs as like a franchise. I love Andy Reid. He's a great guy. Patrick, there's nothing really to hate about the Chiefs other than that they're good. Like, if I'm being 10,000% honest, that's all you can really hate them for, is being good. Okay, let's finish this up. Get us all ready to roll. Thank God I put the Ohio State going to the Cotton Bowl graphic in like the second quarter. Wasn't wasting any time with that, to say the least. As now we're going to flip this Georgia logo in for Oregon, make this look all nice. But yeah, we should be live for the Sugar Bowl tomorrow at 4 p.m. Tax Slayer Gator Bowls after that. Probably not going to really stream that. I mean, shout out to Ole Miss. I'm rooting for the Rebs. Shout out to all my Ole Miss fans out there. I know some Ole Miss fans. I know someone whose brother goes to Ole Miss, in fact. So got nothing but love. Ole Miss has the best jerseys in college football. But like I think they're gonna murder Duke. But RTG and Dom Camp, 2/3 of the pregame crew. I'm the third piece, and I'm not gonna be there. Yeah, I get that, CJ. But yeah, tune in. Devin Prep, St. Joe's Prep Friday. Go Hawks. Beat Devin. Yeah, these all look like good graphics. Except I am gonna like. How do I want to do this? Do I want the background to look nice? Yeah, I kind of do. Yeah, we'll make the background look nice. So we're gonna just lower that to back. Actually, we're just gonna move that. So we're gonna hit. Where's the transparency button? It's gotta be here somewhere, right? Nope. Okay, so it means that we just have to put this up to 100, I guess. Is that how you do it? I'm not really sure how to use this. We'll figure it out. Transparency, 100. Transparency, 100. Transparency, 100. Actually, no, I like the way it looked before. Sorry, folks, technical difficulties. Yeah, let's shout out Georgia Tech basketball, because why not? Shout out to Women's Hoops. Marquette had a game last night. I don't know how they did. Marquette's decent in women's basketball. But our men's team beat Providence on the road by 28 points last night. We are
Beat 'em,
Marquette. Love the boys getting the dub.
Beautimus. Is it a final?
Nah, we still got it's the 2-minute warning.
Oh, okay.
Or it's just short of the 2-minute warning.
I
actually.
forgot when they instituted the 2-minute warning in college football because it used to be in it.
I like it.
I do too.
I'm a fan of it. Oh, I forgot to update that Oregon. The timeouts.
Okay.
Let me go and do that now. Oh, I'm in the wrong thing. Rose Bowl graphics. There we go. Now we're good.
For those of you who are looking for some fun content before the Sugar Bowl, and granted, the reason that they're moving the Sugar Bowl to tomorrow is because of a tragic situation. I mean, we're sending so many prayers up right now for the victims, for the families, and for that city of New Orleans that's been through so much over the last 20 years. Now they have to go through this.
Yeah.
But it is a matchup of Notre Dame against Georgia. Those two teams played in 1980 in the Sugar Bowl.
They also played
1981.
Oh, okay.
And look up the phrase Keith Jackson, Georgia on YouTube and look up the video and watch the beginning of the video. And Keith Jackson introduces Uga and introduces this 80-year-old guy who was the most, I don't want to say adorable, but you start to get the idea just at how enthusiastic he is about the dogs and about the phrase of, how about them dogs?
I was at the video of the guy going, how about them dogs? Yep. We're number one.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Go watch that.
It's a classic.
Funny.
It's a classic.
3rd and 16 for Ohio State as we're under a minute 16 left.
Is this something on fire, though?
3-yard game.
It's all 4 cities. And then it's
that looks beautiful.
That's the thumbnail for the.
That looks beautiful. Are there any undefeated teams?
Tennessee. Rocky Top, you'll always be home, sweet home to me.
Marquette will be in the tournament.
Oh, yeah, we were going to Nick Masterfleet, if you're listening. Them Vols, I don't want to hear about all this crap. You guys don't have Dalton Kmet anymore. We still got Cam Jones, K1, going 3, 3, 3, 3. You can play the coin sound effect.
Yep.
And all that. You can just play that all game because it's just going to be absolute money from deep.
Ka-ching.
Exactly.
As one of your favorite movie characters used to say.
That's not true. What are you talking about?
Wasn't it ka-ching?
Ka-chow.
Ka-chow. Okay.
Shout out Cars, old school. The it's gonna be. Do you believe, dude, that that's gonna be 20 years old next year or this year?
I believe it.
Crazy.
CJ, the reason is because Georgia's in the tournament. They're still in the tournament. They're playing. That's the only reason. It ain't personal.
CJ's just mad because they lost in 8 overtimes.
Oh, that was a classic game.
Do you even watch the overtimes? I stayed up to watch it.
I mean, I don't even have to watch it. I just all you know is it went 8 overtimes.
Yeah,
automatic classic. And a punt with 26 seconds left in the contest. It will harmlessly dribble out of bounds at about the 18-yard line, and Oregon has 21 seconds to score 20 points.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Keep scrolling.
What, 3 Hail Marys and 2 onside kicks in 21 seconds? No.
Something like that.
Nope. I think it's literally physically not possible for that to occur.
You can say that again.
And Ryan making CJ happy with the idea that the Fighting Irish will take down Georgia tomorrow. And Anthony is just mad that West Virginia stinks.
Hey, we beat Kansas. We beat Kansas in basketball yesterday. In football, Rich Rod's taking us to the promised land.
Yes.
I believe in Rich Rod.
And a pound up the middle for Oregon. I think that is going to do it, as the Ohio State Buckeyes are now, in my book, the favorite to win the national championship after getting a measure of revenge, but I'd call it more redemption for losing to Oregon in the regular season in October by a point at Oregon. They beat Oregon 41-21. They will take on Texas in the national championship college football playoff semifinals.
Yes, they will.
a Big Ten versus SEC matchup, which could be repeated with Penn State possibly playing CJ's least favorite team, unless Notre Dame does the job.
I think Notre Dame's
Tomorrow.
doing that job tomorrow. No, I don't want to hear about no backup quarterbacks. No backup quarterbacks for Georgia. No, Notre Dame's getting the job done. That team is going to, Riley Leonard and company, they're going to ride right on into the Orange Bowl next Thursday night.
CJ, you wearing Notre Dame blue or green tomorrow? Are you going to have the Shamrocks painted on your cheeks?
Notre Dame will be wearing white tomorrow, obviously, as the road team.
True.
Yeah. All right, folks, we will be live, or at least I'll be live, in 13 minutes with Reichley from the Football Expert, and at 8:50 or so, we'll be joined by Lincoln for American Football Network. See y'all over there. Final score, as you can see here, it's an absolute boat racing. A blowout, the biggest blowout we have seen in this round. 41-21, your final score. Whoa, we don't want that as our background. You'll see that graphic soon enough. There we go.
And Ryan Day's job is still safe.
Ryan Day will be the head coach of, pretty safely, I think he's going to be the head coach of Ohio State next year. Yeah, we'll see you all later. And, see you in 12 minutes. Peace.